Good evening and welcome to the broadcast. My name is Jose Van Smith. I'm your host for Right Now TV, LaPorte County. Today we are honored to have as our distinguished guest the President of Michigan City Common Council, Mr. Michael Mack. Mr. Mack, welcome to the broadcast.
Thank you, sir. I've been a fan for years. We've looked at, we just got through talking about our old days in broadcast when I was here. So I know you've been doing this show for a long time. So, I'm glad to be here.
We're honored to have you.
All right.
Here. Well, sir, if you would, tell us about how did your illustrious career begin?
Well, I'm 58 years old, so I've done a lot of jobs, worn a lot of hats. Been a resident of Michigan City all through high school. Went to college, Adrian College. I just went to a reunion there, and I'm going to be a bigger ambassador for that place. That is a great school that's doing a lot for a lot of kids and athletically. So any of you guys that are interested, take a peek at that, and we can make some phone calls. But did that, came back to Michigan City and got a job with the Lighthouse Mall. I was a regional manager for 9 West Shoe Company. I was a manager all over the country. My wife and my 2 kids and I, we've traveled to a lot of cities managing different stores. I would just get transferred and plop down and hire people and develop a store. And we had an opportunity to move back to Michigan City 20 some odd years ago. After I was a manager in Best Buy, I had the Toledo store, and then one in Benton Harbor is the most recent one that I had. And we moved back to Michigan City, and from there I've been involved with the school systems, various different things, and currently I'm the president of the Michigan City Council. I'm a member of the redevelopment committee that's involving TIFs, and there's just a lot of great development going on in the city that's coming on the books. I can't speak of all of it, and I work closely with our economic development team, Mr. Clarence Hulse, which has a lot of that connection with the RDC. Third Ward City Councilman.
Yes.
And
super.
That's it.
Kudos to you. So are you still a councilman?
I am still the 3rd Ward City Councilman.
Fantastic.
And also the president of the City Council currently.
Oh, excellent. Well, again, we wish you kudos and we wish you the best. We want to thank you for your service. I understand that there's some resources that's been appropriated or allocated. Is it from the city, state, federal level? Mm-hmm. Under your auspices is it for the community?
Well, it's called the American Rescue Plan, and it was a fund that was started with the federal government, and I call it old school. Because back in when we were younger, the federal government used to send money to the cities, and that's how a lot of our housing got built. I remember when the housing in Eastport, the brick houses toward the end of Walker Street near the playground were built. Before they were built, I'd walk through there and they were all woods. But the federal government actually used to send those type of funds to cities. That stopped somewhere during the 70s and 80s. And during the COVID, the federal government actually sent every city a certain amount of money. Michigan City got $16.9 million to do with the needs of the city that are related to COVID, especially during that shutdown. And a lot of it is divided up into 4 sections or buckets, we've been calling them on the council. Mm-hmm. 3 of the buckets are government related. They have to do with if you want to build sewers and roads that were behind during the COVID transition. Another bucket is
that's infrastructure.
Yeah, infrastructure. Okay. Another bucket is or account, because the government made you create 4 accounts so they can keep track of your spending.
Yes.
So the other account would be an account that is primarily for employee. I don't want to say reimbursement, but rewarding employees that actually worked through the pandemic. And we've got a legislation now to give bonuses to lots and to pretty much all city employees for their hard work during this COVID time. Another bucket is to make up lost funds. Some cities actually lost lots of revenue during COVID. Michigan City, we're fortunate to have a casino, and we expected a loss, but it didn't come out as bad as we thought it was. And the fourth item, which I think is the most important, is the community. And COVID funds are allowed to be spent on various things in the community. I mean, every issue that we have in our city that we would like to improve upon, those COVID funds are probably allowed to allocate. There's cities that are using them for those things in different places. So,
fantastic. Sure. I represent ICIT. ICIT is the acronym for Indiana Corporate Industries Technology, Inc. We are a 501c3.
Mm-hmm.
Our classification is an industrial corporation. We're in the business of building high quality, high-tech based smart brand communities, affordable multi-residential campuses, multicultural, and we're also multicultural humanitarian advocates. Our statement of purpose: we are in fact charitable, educational, humanitarian community developers, construction corporation, building low-income housing, residential properties. We also are in the business of developing minority economic development systems, mm-hmm. which is alternative equity financial institutions, or otherwise known as fintech companies, and sustainable employment opportunities. High-tech. Well, again, we're a high-tech, labor-intensive industrial corporation, 501c3. And with that being said, sir, since 2013, in fact, we were incorporated in April the 26th, 2013, here in the great state of Indiana. How would those resources apply to an organization such as ICIT?
Not directly. The city couldn't directly just hand over a portion of that money to a developer. Okay. Pretty much. Now,
or corporation.
Yeah, right. It just wouldn't be able to do that because it has to be pandemic related. It has to be something that is coming from the now. What it sounds like you're talking about. I'm on the redevelopment committee, and we get those kind of conversations all the time.
That's right.
To use TIF dollars, tax increment financing. Mm-hmm. Now, assistance in developing housing. There's been a housing study. That's I've got 4 points here that since I've been on the council, not just president, and the rest of my stay in Michigan City. When I work at the steel mills, so I work 12 hours a day. I'm in the roll shop. So for those of you that know that, Union 6787.
Bless you.
Yeah. So, this is my second job as a city councilman. I'm a 10-year, going on 11-year employee of what is now Cleveland Cliffs. But the four things that are really important to me are city development, and that's why I'm on the redevelopment committee. Mm-hmm. Our environment, I've been working with a lot of just transition. Our sustainability committee in Michigan City is doing excellent work. Youth development and people development. Now, under the auspice of that, what you're talking about, city development, between the redevelopment committee and the Economic Development Corporation of Michigan City, that's where all of those things get put together. So the plans, they've got a template actually for the RDC, and it involves the city planners and the finances and the mayor and things like that. So there is a place to go to present ideas for that, because housing is a huge need, and there's a huge housing study that was just finished about a week or two ago. By a company, Green Space, I believe it is, an outstanding study. It shows the needs that we have in this city, let alone the county. And there's a huge need.
We recently met with Tony Rodriguez over the county redevelopment department, and he had indicated he would get me a copy of that. Mm-hmm. Once it got completed. It wasn't quite finished. But if you indicated, if it's done, mm-hmm. I'd like to ascertain that material so we can kind of muddle through it.
Well, if anybody wants to see it, it's on this website called Vibrant Communities, and that's another place where there's a lot of information on the needs of the county, but Michigan City is the largest city in the county, so we're kind of driving those figures. If the county has a deficiency in an area, Michigan City, being a 30,000 person city, is driving those areas that are needing improvement. So that's the Vibrant Communities website. A lot of great input was put in there, and that's where that whole study will be.
And that'll be www.
Yep, Vibrant Communities. Where's it at here? Yep. I thought I had a sheet.
www.vibrant
Communities. Yes, LaPorte County, and it's huge.
Super. Sure. You as the councilman of Third Ward, what are the boundaries?
The boundaries of the Third Ward are pretty much the west side, literally, geographically, the west side of Michigan City. So if you were to take Ohio Street from the, I stay down there, that's why I'll start that as a point of reference, near Knapp School, but Ohio and Earl Road.
Yes.
If you're on that corner right there, one side of Ohio.
Back to Hitchcock?
Yes, yeah. If you would take Ohio and that to Hitchcock.
Is Swivel Park a part of your?
No, that's on the other side. This is the line. Yes, Strebel Pond is on the Mr. Fitzpatrick ward. I think I want to say.
So on the there's
Ohio Street splits the ward.
Right, but you say Earl Road to Hitchcock going east, if you would, or going toward the.
Well, if you just take Earl Road straight, all of that is still in Michigan City.
Is that Third Ward, though?
On the right side of it is.
Yes. So going back toward the tracks.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. All right, so that would be under in your ward?
Yep, all of the prison.
We're going to have to talk.
Prison.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
It's fantastic.
Well,
we should have met with you when we were in conference with Skylar York and them over there at the city planning department. We'd have an architect working on. Well, we have some specs for I believe it's approximately $50 to $100 million development project that we're proposing to develop here. Mm-hmm. And we definitely would like to get your input in that going forward. Mm-hmm. So at some point in time in the near future, we're going to have a discussion about that.
Okay, bring it to the RDC because as far as just my personal knowledge of architecture, mm-hmm. I'm pretty. I try to listen to the smart guys.
Well, same here. We do what we do.
Exactly.
We're in the people business,
right?
But again, today, for those of you who just tuned in, we are again honored to have as our distinguished guest the president of Michigan City City Council, Mr. Michael Mack. Mr. Michael Mack is also our Third Ward committeeman and a pillar of our community, and we are again delighted to have him as our special guest. Sir, so as you indicated, what are some of the focuses that the city? What are some of the major needs and concerns of the city going forward, in your perspective?
In my perspective, it comes down to those four things: city development, because in reality, people use the word gentrification a lot. In my mind, gentrification is an intentional buyout of neighborhoods that exist. But what we're having is a market type of gentrification. Chicago is expanding. The COVID protocols that created people working from home created a new dynamic. A lot of companies. My daughter is a lawyer. She graduated from Notre Dame twice.
Excellent, fantastic.
Right in downtown Chicago, and her law firm during COVID shut down their offices and everybody worked from home, and they're continuing to work from home. Now she has a job where she can actually move anywhere, and they've done that. And I think that happened near any big city. So the amount of people that have the ability to move out of the city is expanding. So there's just market forces at play in Michigan City where people are desiring to live in a smaller town with, in places like that. So
and they call it home office.
Yes.
It's the way of the future.
Absolutely. And city development is coming with our double track, with that market force.
Yes.
There are market elements and a desire to live here. We got a beautiful community. I mean, I've lived here all my life. This is a beautiful place. You've got the lake. You've got you could drive 10 miles and you're in the woods pretty much in any direction. And so we're a city with a small town flavor, and we just got a lot of potential. So that's coming to us. The development is coming. The other part is our environment that I've been personally involved in a lot, and that's the coal ash issue with NIPSCO. NIPSCO is actually shutting down that in 2028, I believe. And there's a couple of groups that I've been involved with, Just Transition and our Sustainability Committee, that is actually working diligently to make sure that coal ash is actually disposed of in the proper way, and then that we try to make sure that all of it is removed so that property can be useful for the city, because that's going to be a huge piece of property right next to the
right on the lake
national
treasure
park. That's increased. So
yes,
our environment is huge. Is a huge issue for me.
So you're saying when they decide to dismantle that facility, will it go into public domain or?
Well, that's going to be the argument that's going to be had. I'm sure that a lot of people could find a lot of uses for that property in the private sector, but Michigan City residents, I personally would rather see it stay in the hands of the city to try to make some kind of connection with our beach and the national lake shore. To me, that's logical, but I mean, that's going to be a valuable piece of property, and we have to be, as a community, somewhat coordinated because these market forces and pressures are coming to us. So we have to make sure that we put our 2 cents in for the future, and especially I always use the 8th or 7th grade, but because that's really what we're fighting for right now. The kids that are in the younger grades that would like to live and stay in their community and take care of their parents. Like that's what I'm doing. My parents are in their 80s, so.
Bless you. And again, you are watching the Right Now TV, LaPorte County. This is our community education segment. We are the honored to have as our special guest Mr. Michael Mack, President of Michigan City Council. One of the main concerns that we have, sir, that we would like to discuss and share with you, and look forward to having a discussion with the city, is on the issue of mental illness, which is a global pandemic. And it's long overdue. It's affecting all aspects of not just our society, but humanity at large, from the cradle to the grave. And we at ICIT feel that as responsible, mature adults, we need to focus like a razor on that most critical issue affecting all of us. These issues that not only affect the domestic violence and the criminal element of our society, or in most instances, we feel that our police establishment is getting a bad rap. Because they're really not fully equipped to deal with mental illnesses. Because as a society in general, we are not trained to focus on that. It's been an issue we've swept under the rug for eons, and it's just high time that we fess up and get out the mushroom ketchup and do our due diligence and embrace all of our citizenry. Because we are all in this together. It doesn't matter if you're Republican, Democrat, Independent, if you're rich or poor. Mental illness. I mean, we've had presidents who've had mental illness in their families. There's been royalty over in the United Kingdom who've had mental illness in their families. And it's just something that we just need to we need a serious discussion about. And I see it. We're going to make that one of our fundamental focal points. We're going to spearhead an initiative to establish resources, and again to bring not just at the grassroots level, but all humanity to bear on these issues, from the community level to high industrial level, as well as from city, state, local, and federal officials. It's just a concern. I don't know do you have a take or a position on mental illness and how it's affecting our society, sir?
Oh, I've got a strong, super strong take on it. My son is autistic. He's went through the entire Michigan City area school system, special needs, for the last years. Well, not even for the whole existence. There was a unified track, it's called. I was one of the assistance coaches, and then COVID hit and it shut it down. And I don't know if they did it last year, but if you want to get me teared up, this is the topic that would do it, because dealing with those kids on that track team, it was a group of unified track. I'll just start over with the whole premise of unified track and special needs.
Yes.
It's instead of having the Special Olympics like we used to know back in the day.
Yes.
What they did was integrate the Special Olympics into the school. So instead of all of the kids with special needs and any kind of disabilities having a track meet of their own, they represent their schools. So our school jumped on the bandwagon, Michigan City High School, with a group of super smart kids about 6-7 years ago, and started that program up. And it just grew like wildfire in the state. And Crown Point and Portage and the whole Duneland Conference has those kids. And I was an assistant coach there, so I'm known for going to all those meets and games. And that community is truly underserved, and it's not not just a Michigan City problem. Like you said, it's an endemic problem of resources. It affects policing, because those are it's difficult issues. It's difficult probably everywhere.
From the medical profession,
yes,
to academia, I mean, to a parent.
Yes. Oh yeah.
And we have to. This is an issue. It's like it's just as crucial as COVID.
Right.
We've got to address these issues.
But the biggest thing to address it is patience and being there, because
Amen.
Our style of politics, our style of Facebooking, our style of letting people know our frustrations is not conducive to helping that. It's definitely not conducive to raising a child with a special need. If you don't have patience, because these, when a parent has their child and is looking forward to that, and then they've got these issues that no one in their family can help, no advice. Some of the behaviors that the kids exhibit are extreme. I've been there. I know that. I know exactly how it works. So patience, love, and those are the attributes and characteristics that are going to move the needle in this. Our typical, I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore, is not going to help these situations. We've just got to get better at dialogue and a true desire to actually fix something. So.
And on that note,
I got to back off of that.
And on that note, we're going to pause for station identification. And again, this segment is brought to you by the Wall Gang, gone but not forgotten, and also more auto repair of Michigan City. And again, we're going to pause for station identification afterwards. We'll be right back with Mr. Michael Mack, President of Michigan City Common Council. Excuse me. All right. Again, and we want to thank you all for tuning in to our broadcast. This community education segment is brought to you, is underwritten in part by our good friends over at the Flanagan Tires. Contact Mr. Kyle for your next entire dealer for your auto repair, automotive tire needs. We also like to give a shout out to our good friends over at the LaPorte County Sheriff Department for the outstanding work they're doing. Mr. Skyler York, the Assistant Planner of Michigan City Planning and Inspection Department, Pop Culture and Collectibles. pop culture and collectibles. Stop by and visit and pay them a visit. They have something for everyone. We also like to acknowledge our good friends over at, there's a new local business, and it's called Hot Pants on Franklin Street. They're in the catering business. Give them your support for your next event. That's Hot Pants. They offer an extraordinary array of cuisine with an excellent presentation. We'd like to acknowledge the Hawkins Print Shop, a service-oriented printer, free pickup and delivery, a whole world of good. A whole world of good. A whole world of good. Each dollar helps make a difference in individual lives and entire communities around the world. The work one. If you're interested in getting employed or finding the next job, give them a call. We have a work one here in Michigan City at 301 East 8th Street. We also would like to give a shout out to Michigan City Police Chief Dion Campbell, for the outstanding work that he's done, serving with integrity, dedication, and professionalism. To stop domestic violence, and they've done it, and they are doing that. We would like to give a shout out to Mr. Jim Musil at Sandcastle, the concerned citizens for the homeless, the Keys to Hope and Grace Learning Center. We also, would again urge your support for our local businesses. We're here to fight hate. All right, there is a big major problem nationally with hate crimes throughout our hate groups. Actually, there's over 838 hate groups. We'd be better off with 838 less. Contact the Southern Poverty Law Center for more information about that and how you can get involved. And again, if you'd like to come on the air, if you've got a talent, or you're interested in becoming or advancing your career, give me a call. My number is 219-336-3453. Or you can write me at ICIT, P.O. Box 542, Michigan City, Indiana, 46361. That's ICIT, P.O. Box 542, Michigan City, Indiana, 46361. And at this juncture, I'd like to, we have another distinguished guest that we'd like to bring on the panel that have some news and newsworthy information they'd like to share with our viewing audience, as well as with our City Council President, Mr. Michael Mack. Mr. Don Lewis. Correct. I stand to be corrected. Mr. Danny Lewis. Mr. Lewis, welcome to the broadcast.
Glad to be here, sir.
We're honored to have you. Come right on in and have a seat, sir.
All right. How you doing, Councilman Mack?
Very good, very good.
Always good to see you, sir.
Mr. Lewis, we are honored to have you as a special guest with our councilman, with Councilman Michael Mack, President of Michigan City Common Council. We understand you've got some major issues you want to share with our viewing audience. You guys go right at it.
Well,
but first of all, begin with introducing yourself, if you would.
my name is Danny Lewis, not Don Lewis. Danny Lewis. Locally from Michigan City, born and raised, been in the city for a while. In and out of the city on different ventures. I'm the sports coordinator for Michigan City House of Hope. And we've been doing some good things in the community. We're looking to do some more things in the community pertaining to the youth of Michigan City. Sports is a good key for kids to get off the streets and have things to do. As Councilman Mack know, we grew up in the same area, battled against each other, a little bit of Michigan City Rogers and Michigan City Elston. So
Yes.
we share the same views, a lot of the same views. And I just wanted to come and add some things, give you some information pertaining to what Michigan City House of Hope is offering, and then some things that me and Councilman Mack have been speaking on. I don't know where the beginning of the segment spoke on some of the things you were talking about with the city. I would like to be brought up on that. I don't want to jump ahead.
Okay, no, we and I'm going to try my best not to go into any 1980 stories that him and I can go to. So, but it's always difficult. Now, just to piggyback off what he just said, we will always have a special bond because we both believe that athletics, competition, and not just in the sports field, from an academic perspective, from an arts perspective, from a music perspective, when you get children and young people that are trying to develop talent across those areas, and you've got passionate adults that know what they're talking about, you get results. And
Exactly.
we've got so much potential that is just not being harnessed in Michigan City with these youth because of our inability as adults, and this is just my perspective, to be passionate and aggressive in developing those connections. So the passion that I've had, and that all these other communities around us have an athletic and community center, and I mean not just a small thing like we've got our Martin Luther King Center, and I don't even think that's open now, and we've got the YMCA, which is the facility, and the Boys and Girls Club, but they're doing the best they can with what they've been given, the tools that they've been given. And I've been speaking since I started this journey in politics about developing and you probably can't see this, but I'll be introducing it shortly. Athletic center, field house, community center type of deal. And if you go to Elkhart has 2, Hammond has 1. Penn has an entire campus. They've got these $15, $20, $30 million facilities that address health care, all of those special needs areas we were just talking about. And when I shared this with Mr. Lewis, we just bonded again on that need. That is, to me, the crux of advancement of our city. And from a development point of view, the developers and people that I've spoken to on the RDC, they're just waiting for the people in Michigan City to begin to have that desire to truly develop our own people. So we went and looked at some sites, and
we did. Me and Councilman came by, and we went and rode the city, and mainly on the west side of town, where's my resident is, and I have a passion for the west side. I've done a lot for the west side as far as community stuff with the youth. At one time, in 2013 through 15, I ran a program called Wiggy Sports. It was a t-ball, softball, baseball facility right there adjacent from the Indiana State Prison. And during those years, we had over a couple hundred kids to come out. Councilman Magno, we had an opening day with the superintendent, and so many kids had an opportunity. The ones that was fortunate to be able to come into our program, either where they could afford it or not, because we made our program affordable.
$5.
$5, $10. We had sponsors, and I'm gonna name off some of our sponsors at the end. But to make this story short, is that we had an opportunity at that time, and then the opportunity kind of went down the drain. But what Councilman Mack is speaking on is a field house, a rec center. I travel the state of Indiana. I'm a licensed basketball official, so I travel and I go to different venues. One I'm working at now is in Chesterton. It's called The Courts, and I do have pictures, pictorial, but we probably can't put them up. State-of-the-art facility. They have a swimming pool. They have 4 courts. They have a track. They have a baseball facility where indoor, outdoor, and of course basketball is the main plug there. And it's just so nice to see a facility being operated, and the kids turn out from the ages of 5 to 6 through high school. So, and even in South Bend, the upgraded Boys and Girls Club, it hurts me when I go around the city and I know that we do have an operable YMCA, but at this stage of Michigan City, I think we need a field house. We need a rec center where state of the art, where the kids can come and be involved. We're losing our kids to the streets. We're losing them to violence. One of our ploys that we use with Michigan City House of Hope is a workshop before jump shot. You know, we can get the kids into wellness programs and not just sports, but working on the individual theirself. Even with Michigan City House of Hope, and I got to mention it, they even have a reentry program, a prevention program where kids get out of juvenile reentry. Some teenagers get out of the prison system, the LaPorte County jail system, reentry program. So we want to incorporate everything, not just sports. But our main thing is we do need to get a new facility built. And then the people that's operating the facility. You know, not everybody likes sports, but the ones that have been there, played the game, high school, college, have a lot of experience in operating rec centers or making them successful. Those are the people that need to be put in place. Not people just coming to get a job and want to get a check or volunteering just to get prestige. We want you to have a passion for what we're going to be offering with Michigan City House of Hope, and then also praying, hoping that we can get a rec center, get a field house built.
And it's going to happen in one capacity or another. This ARP money is there. We could put programming into facilities now, but I think the city deserves much more than that. And this group that I've been working with, they've been building these facilities. They built the one in Elkhart. They built them in Abu Dhabi, Dubai, all over the United States. In Indianapolis, there's a bunch of them that they've built, or architecturally designed. And they come in and they do a study of the area to make sure that it's sustainable for 20, 30 years. So it's a super professional group that comes from, one of the members comes from Michigan City. So I'll be excited to introduce that. And it kind of goes into another area, that entrepreneurship. We've got a lot of individuals with entrepreneurial ambitions that are current entrepreneurs in the city. And it's a difficult place to be right now. And what has just happened is an entrepreneurial study for an entrepreneur center. It possibly could be located in the new building with the double track when that happens. But a place where we had one before. It's like a co-op where people can come together as entrepreneurs and get a reduction on rent and use their site to grow. And then where other people can come to share office space, share printers and phone lines and internet access, and that's in the development also. We had a meeting with a company that did the study, and they said Michigan City is prime to have a large one. The study is, and the same thing with the athletic center. They do these studies to say how big of a facility could this area encompass, and almost everything. Like I said on the earlier part of the market and desire to be in Michigan City is large. We could sustain a very large athletic center with our population and the surrounding areas, and the same with that entrepreneur center. So there's good things and big things coming, and we've got dreams and ambitions, but at Michigan City, we're starting from scratch on a lot of this stuff. So patience is going to be needed, and support. People and support, and people would desire. Go ahead.
And how can we be about the business? How can we support you all? How can the community at large give you guys support moving forward on this initiative?
No, go ahead.
Okay, we're going to get to the contact information. I don't know how much time we got, but I still wanted to share some things like when me and Councilman Mack went around the west side of Michigan City, we seen a lot of buildings. It's been sitting there for 20, 25 years since I've been affiliated with the west side, over at Pullman Field and a couple old buildings, factories. And what he's speaking on with the gentleman out of Dubai, that them buildings can very easily be demolished. I love to see them demolished and rebuilt from scratch on up with the proper proposal and the proper blueprint. Also, before we move on to giving out information, I want to see, jobs come back for the kids during the summer. They had a program called CETA program. Mike knows about this. In the summertime, they had CETA program where the kids, you have jobs around the local little city, and kids were able to make, I think they were making $205 a week. What kid at 15, 16 wouldn't want to make $205 a week? And you got programs set where they have to have workshops and wellness programs and studies on what's happening in the community. It's a lot of things that you can add components to that. I would like to see the parks in Michigan City. A lot of the schools, after school's over, they shut down. Nothing happens in the summer. Where years ago, they used to have it where they had summer programs at Joy, at Park School, at NAP, where the kids come in the morning from 9 to 1, 9 to 2, and they get out. They're able to play basketball, ping pong, go on field trips. Love to see a skating rink come back to Michigan City. That's how the city can support these youth programs, because skating was a big part of us in Michigan City. We had the USA. We go skating on Fridays and Saturdays. We talk about it at school all week. We're going back to the USA. So it's a lot of components that can come along with the new facility that's built. A lot of kids get in trouble for fighting at school. If you're a fighter, let's get you in the ring. Let's get an MMA program going where we can see where the next Tata Ali come out of, or the next Floyd Mayweather. We don't know what these kids got in them until we put them into the right setting and the right program and give them an opportunity. A lot of kids are left behind. If I can just help one kid and they can come back to me 10 years later and say, Mr. Lewis, thank you for getting the programs together. Thank you for this and that. That's my reward right there. Okay, so, but back for what can happen, and you asked the questions, how can the city help? Well, right now I'm in conjunction, I want to get it out.
What are some of your needs, sir?
Yeah, well, right now I'm in conjunction with the Michigan City Park and Recreations. We're going to be presenting a first annual youth basketball skills camp. We haven't came with any dates or any times, but we do know that we'll possibly be occupying Lake Hills Elementary, one of the nice state-of-the-art new buildings that's built. We're going to be running clinics out of there, and we're going to be running leagues up there. We're going to have kids from 7 to 14. We're dealing with the youth, the younger kids first, and getting them prepared for the next level. But the city can help us in any way. They're helping us already with our program, because they're going to be helping us lock in the facility and certain things that we need, itemized costs, what have you.
Well, not just cities, sir, but individuals. How can individuals support you?
I'm going to let Councilman Mack answer that.
Well, me personally, just give me a ring. If you want to be involved in anything, if you got ideas, my number's on the city website, but I'll just add this, that building things is hard. It's not easy. The difficulties and obstacles in building new programs from scratch, fixing those problems would be the same all over the world and anywhere. Getting adults together to accomplish a goal is not easy. We've worked together. I've worked with the House of Hope, with baseball and redoing those fields. These guys did it themselves. The baseball fields across the street from the prison there. I've watched these guys do it. So community is far, far more valuable and necessary than government. As the moment that we get our community desiring to build structures and be involved, like Mr. Lewis is talking about, that's when these things actually are going to start taking off. So teamwork, community, tolerance, patience. It's not like we're starting off on third base here in Michigan City. We're starting off a lot of these things from scratch, and so it's going to take a while, and it's not going to be built like it was when I was a child, even though I would like to see some of that, but those days aren't coming back. The structures and the things that are, like parks, for instance, those things aren't going to come back in the way that they were when we were young. So we just need to get good people that have a desire to learn and grow, to work together toward a common goal, and that's not easy anywhere in the world. So, but just don't quit. I'm not going to quit.
Amen. And to add to that is that it's for. I mean, a lot of people say, well, kids don't have an opportunity. you got to put kids in an opportunity setting to succeed. Not to say they're not. I was surprised to know here the last several weeks that the Michigan City Park and Recreation didn't have a basketball program in the winter. Ever since I was a kid, Saturday basketball, we had Saturday basketball. And the kids had a chance to come out. We had a chance to come out and play and then go home and enjoy the rest of the day. I was surprised on that for the city not to have that. Not bashing the city, but maybe opportunities didn't come at that time to have a program. Now they're there. With our programs, with the Michigan City House of Hope program, we're offering not just basketball, we're offering different types of wellness programs and things of that magnitude. So if you want any information, you can call the Michigan City House of Hope, and the address is 1101 West 9th Street in Michigan City, Indiana. The phone office number is 219-210-6973. And then if you need to additionally talk to me, my number is 219-210-5137. We're always looking for people to come out and volunteer, instructors, coaches, and what have you. People that wants to come out and help with the programs.
And one last thing that I would like to see that doesn't exist right now is a third ward community group. If you're interested in being a part of that, if you're interested in being the leadership of that, because that needs to come from the community, that can't come from the government. I'm not a believer in that. If you're interested in forming that community group where things can be notified, almost, to where people can start coming together to improve the entire ward. Yes. That would be a great thing. So if you're interested, send me an email. My information is on the city website. All of my email addresses and phone numbers. I would love to leave that legacy here in Michigan City of a third ward community group that is looking out for the people in the community.
Yeah. And we really thank Smitty because giving us opportunity to get a platform we can share with the city, and then hopefully that we can get some things moving as we speaking on now. And I really appreciate him having me on the show.
Well, I might add, I just want to add 2 remarkable, outstanding coaches, and we commend you guys for your work and your commitment to our community. As we sum up this segment, beginning with you, sir, Mr. Danny Lewis, the director of
sports director
for
Michigan City House of Hope.
Sports director for Michigan City House of Hope.
Yes.
I would like you to leave us with your final thought and summarized by our Councilman President, Mr. Michael Mack.
Well, my final thoughts is that I want to do all I can. I don't do this for money. I do it because I love the passion of seeing the youth be successful, and hopefully we can get some more volunteers, some more sponsors. We do have a lot of sponsors. I'd like to thank Horizon Bank and Shoots and Moore's Auto that sponsors us every year for our baseball. But I'd just like to be able to come together with the organization, support staff, like Councilman Mack said, we can come together and we can make this happen as a unit.
Councilman Mack.
I'm all about teams. I've been on teams, and not just athletic teams, all my life. And on the job, you're part of a team. In athletics, you're part of a team. Weak teams generally lose. Strong teams generally win. It's communication, it's integrity, and it's setting goals and talking to each other and trying to accomplish them. Same all over the world. Yes. Those that are able to do those soft skills win. And those that are, more siloed into individualism, they can get theirs, but the bigger things won't happen. So let's get a better team, put together stronger teams, and work for the common goal.
Amen. 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 And again, sir, we're going to put that information up on that site that you just.
Okay.
Yes, that information.
I'll get it.
We'll get that to our producers, and we'll share that with you guys before the close of the program. Again, we want to thank our distinguished guest, Mr. Danny Lewis, the director of
Michigan City.
Michigan City. Our youth. Board director.
Okay. Of Michigan City.
Right. And our distinguished president, Mr. Michael Mack, we're honored again to have you, sir.
Thank you.
As a special guest on our broadcast for the hour. Again, it is an honor to be in the presence of these gentlemen. You guys are the giants whose shoulders we stand upon, and we thank you for your service to our community. In any way we can, we urge all of you all to our viewing audience to get involved and roll up your sleeves and make a difference. And put your mouth where you put your money where your mouth is, and support our initiatives that's going to benefit our youth.
Right.
Because they are our future. Thank you all for appearing on our broadcast, and we thank you all for your service.
We thank you.
All right.
We're going to pause now for station identification. Yeah. Again, I'd like to thank our special guest, the distinguished president of Michigan City Council, Mr. Michael Mack, and also the Third Ward Commitment, Mr. Daniel Lewis, who is the youth coach for over at the House of Hope, Michigan City House of Hope. And again, we urge your support for those initiatives going forward. We want to also give we want to thank to our underwriters for this segment, the Flanagan Boys, your hometown Nixon tire dealer. Stop by and contact and talk to Kyle. Tell him you heard about it on the Right Now TV show. We'd like to give a special shout out to our friends over at Moore Auto Repair, Inc. Mr. Stephen P. Moore, 24-hour towing available. And of course, to the Wall Gang, Michigan City, Wall Gang of Michigan City, Indiana, POW and MIA. We will never forget. To our fallen comrades, we want to thank you. We want you all to know you may be gone, but you're never forgotten. Again, we thank our Commander Steve Moore of the Wall Gang of Michigan City, Indiana. To our fallen comrades, POWs and MIAs, we will never forget. We want to again thank our the village kids. Thank Mr. Jim Musso for the great work that they're doing, and we wanted to commend our councilmen, Mr. Andy Dietrich. We want Mr. Fitzpatrick. All of you all for keeping our city on the map. And again, any way we can be of service here at ICIT, please don't hesitate to give me a call at 219-336-3453, or you can write me at P.O. Box 542, Michigan City, Indiana, 46361. That's ICIT, P.O. Box 542, Michigan City, Indiana, 46361. Again, I am Jose Van Smith. I'm a community developer, and I'm your host for the Right Now TV LaPorte County. We want to thank you all for tuning into the broadcast. At ICIT, we are advocacy, intervention, referral, employment, job placement, publishing, fair housing, new construction, telecommunications, and supportive services. And we want to thank you all again for your support of our organization. If you want to come on the air, please feel free to give me a call. I just want to leave you all with a final benediction. May the Lord watch between me and thee while we are absent, one from another. Amen. Remember, you all, we are still, get your vaccines, maintain social distance, wash your hands, and share the love. United we stand. We are the United States of America. We're not United Republicans, we're not United Democrats, we're not United Independents. We're United States Americans. God bless America. May God bless you all. Thank you for tuning into the broadcast. And we want to thank our good friends over at Access Support County of Michigan City. Kudos for the great work that they're doing in our great city.